Think about the last time you saw your child walk through the front door after school. You probably look for the little things. You notice the way they carry their backpack. Is it slung over their shoulder, or are they dragging it like it's filled with heavy stones? You look at their face the moment they step inside. Do they look relieved to be home in their safe space, or do they look like they are still worried, trying to hide a secret? As a parent, your gut feeling is a powerful tool. You know your child's personality better than anyone else. When that personality changes, you feel it in your own heart. Maybe you have noticed them becoming quieter, or maybe those small, everyday complaints about school. The "I don't want to go" or the "everyone is being mean" have stopped feeling like just a bad day and have started sounding like they are truly hurting. Many parents in your spot feel stuck. You want to protect them, to swoop in and make the world a kind place again. But you also know that you cannot be there every second of the day. You are the leader of your home, but you cannot be in the classroom or on the playground at every moment. This can make you feel helpless. You find yourself asking questions that keep you up at night. Is this just a normal part of growing up? Is this just a tough friendship, or is it something mean? If I jump in to help, will I make things worse for them? When we talk about bullying, it is easy to picture the dramatic, movie-style scenes, the shove at the lockers, the lunch money stolen, or a loud fight in the hallway. We want to believe that if it were that obvious, we would see it right away. But the truth is that bullying is often much quieter and harder to spot. It happens in the way a group of kids suddenly stops talking when your child walks up. It happens when your child is left out of games on purpose, or when a mean message is sent on a phone. It is like carrying a heavy weight, and if your child is dealing with this, they are likely doing it all by themselves. They are scared that telling you will make it real, or that if you step in, the other kids will treat them even worse. Here is a big secret. Your child is often trying to protect you from their pain just as much as you are trying to protect them. They see how much you love them, and they don't want to be the reason you feel worried or upset. They want to be the happy, strong kid you know. By keeping quiet, they think they are keeping the peace at home. So, how do we start to change this? We have to lower the pressure. If you think something is wrong, the worst thing you can do is start asking a million questions or acting like a detective. If your child feels like they are being grilled, they will just close up even more. Instead, you need to be a safe harbor. You need to be the place where they can drop their anchor. Imagine you are sitting in the car after a long day or folding laundry in the quiet of the evening. Instead of asking, "What is wrong with you?" or "Who is being mean to you?" try a softer approach. You might say, "I've noticed you seem a bit sad lately. I don't need to know anything you aren't ready to share, but I want you to know I'm here. I'm in your corner, and there is nothing you could tell me that would make me love you less." That simple bridge, built on the promise of safety rather than a demand for answers, is how the healing starts. It tells your child that they are not the problem and that they do not have to fix everything by themselves. It takes the pressure off. In the chapters ahead, we are going to look at why these mean social patterns happen and why just being kind sometimes feels like it isn't enough when someone is being intentionally hurtful. It isn't that kindness is weak. It's that kindness needs to be paired with strong boundaries to protect it. We are not just looking for ways to stop a bully. We are looking for ways to build a strong, confident spirit in your child that stays steady, even when things get tough. But before we go further, there is one thing you need to understand: the power of your calm. You are the anchor for your child. When they feel like their world is shaking at school, coming home to a parent who is calm, steady, and willing to listen, without rushing to fix everything, is the most powerful shield they could ever have. Your steady voice and your refusal to panic show them that they are safe. You are teaching them that their value doesn't depend on what a mean peer thinks of them. It depends on the love they have at home. This isn't about ignoring the problem. It is about building a foundation so that when the winds of meanness blow, your child has the strength to keep standing. It is a slow and steady process. It takes patience, it takes courage, and it takes a promise to keep looking at who your child really is, no matter what happens at school. Take a deep breath. You are the exact parent your child needs right now. By listening to this, you have already taken the first step toward keeping your child's heart safe. You are choosing to be involved and to be present. That is a gift your child will feel, even if they don't have the words to say thank you yet. We are going to start by looking at why these patterns happen in the first place, and how we can help your child find their voice again. Now that we've established that safe harbor in your home, let's look at what is really going on inside your child's world. When we see a child acting differently, becoming withdrawn, losing interest in hobbies, or showing sudden frustration, we often look for a reason. We might think, maybe they're just tired, or maybe they're having a tough week at school. And while that might be true, we need to understand the social world they are navigating. Many of us remember our own school years as a series of friendships and simple games. But the social world today is different. It's faster, it's louder, and it never really turns off because of the internet. When a child is being bullied, they aren't just dealing with a mean peer. They are dealing with a shift in their social status. They are being told, in many different ways, you don't belong here. Think of the school environment like a giant, complex machine with many moving parts. For most kids, this machine runs smoothly. But for a child who is being targeted, it feels like the gears are grinding against them. Bullying is rarely about the victim's personality. It is almost always about the bully's need for power, control, or a feeling of belonging at someone else's expense. Here is what many parents don't realize. The bully is often a child who is struggling with their own big, uncomfortable feelings. Maybe they are feeling insecure, maybe they are mirroring what they see at home, or maybe they just don't know how to connect with others in a positive way. When that child lashes out, they are looking for a reaction. They want to see someone else feel small so they can feel big. When your child is on the receiving end of that behavior, their brain goes into what we call survival mode. This is why you see them acting out at home or shutting down entirely. Their nervous system is telling them, something is wrong, I am not safe. When a child is in this state, they cannot just ignore it. Telling a child to just be the bigger person or just ignore them is like telling someone in a rainstorm to just ignore the water. It doesn't change the fact that they are getting wet. Instead, we need to help them understand that the bully's behavior is not a reflection of their value. It is a reflection of the bully's own lack of skills. Think about a time when you were driving and someone cut you off. You might have felt a flash of anger or fear, but then you saw that the other driver was clearly panicked or driving recklessly. Your perspective shifted from, why are they doing this to me? To, wow, that person is a danger to everyone. We want to help our children reach that same level of perspective. We want to take the power away from the bully by helping our child see that the bully's actions aren't about them. But how do we teach this without sounding like we are making excuses for bad behavior? It starts with validation. If your child tells you about something mean that happened, don't rush to say, oh, they're probably just jealous, or don't worry about it. Instead, try this. That sounds incredibly unfair. I can see why that would make you feel hurt, angry, sad. Tell me more about what happened. When you listen in this way, you are doing two things. You are proving that their feelings are valid. You are keeping the channel of communication open. If you jump to fix it, your child will stop telling you the details. If you listen and stay calm, they will keep coming to you. And that communication is your most important tool. The next step is to start helping them build emotional armor. This doesn't mean being cold or mean in return. It means learning how to stay calm even when someone is trying to get a rise out of them. A bully feeds on reactions. If they push and your child doesn't give them the show they are looking for, the bully often moves on to someone else. In the next section, we'll talk about exactly what emotional armor looks like and how to practice it at home, so that when your child is back on the playground or in the classroom, they have a plan. Let's talk about that emotional armor I mentioned. When I say armor, I don't mean building a wall that makes your child cold or unkind. Quite the opposite. Emotional armor is about helping your child stay grounded so that when someone tries to stir up trouble, your child doesn't fall apart or explode in anger. Remember, a person who bullies is looking for a reaction. It's like a game to them. If they say something mean and your child cries or gets red in the face with anger or tries to argue back, the bully gets a win. They feel powerful because they successfully pushed your child's buttons. The goal of emotional armor is to make those buttons much harder to find. How do we do this? We practice. We don't wait for a crisis to teach these skills. We use the quiet moments at home to role play and prepare. Think of it like a sports team practicing a play. They don't learn it in the middle of a championship game. They learn it during practice, over and over, until it becomes second nature. You can do the same thing. Find a calm time during the weekend and say, "Hey, let's practice what to do if someone says something mean to you." Start with the boring response. This is a secret weapon. When someone says something meant to hurt, the best response is often a very dull, calm, and short one. Teach your child to say something like, "Okay," or "That's your opinion," and then immediately turn their attention to something else. It sounds simple, but it is incredibly hard to do. It takes a lot of inner strength to stay calm when your feelings are hurt. Your child might need to practice keeping their voice steady. If they speak in a high, shaky voice, the bully knows they got to them. If they speak in a flat, "I'm not interested" voice, the bully loses their target. Another part of this armor is body language. Bullies look for kids who look small, who look at the ground, or who have hunched shoulders. We want to teach your child to carry themselves with quiet confidence. Practice this together. Stand tall. Keep your head up and your shoulders back. Make brief eye contact, just for a second, then look away. You don't have to stare them down, just show that you aren't afraid to look at them. Keep moving. If someone is being mean, don't stand still. Keep walking, keep busy with your task, or move to where other friends or teachers are. When your child moves away calmly, they are showing the bully, "You aren't important enough for me to stop what I'm doing." Now I know what you might be thinking, but what if the bully just follows them? What if they won't stop? That is a very real possibility, and it is a sign that the situation has moved beyond what your child can handle alone. This is where you, as the parent, must step in. There is a huge difference between telling and tattling. Tattling is when you try to get someone in trouble for something small, like not sharing a pencil. Telling is when you are reporting something that is making you feel unsafe or hurt. You need to teach your child that they have a right to be safe. If they have tried to stay calm and move away, but the person keeps bothering them, it is time to get an adult involved. However, many kids are terrified to tell a teacher because they think they'll be called a snitch. This is a major hurdle. You can help by saying, "It's not being a snitch to protect your right to be happy at school. If someone is stopping you from learning or playing, that's not fair, and you deserve help." And when you do need to talk to a teacher or school counselor, do it with a goal. Don't go in with anger, even if you are absolutely furious. Go in as a partner. Say, I want to work with you to make sure my child feels safe and ready to learn. What can we do together to help? When you approach the school as a team, you are much more likely to get the support your child needs. The most important part of this armor is knowing that they have you. Even if they feel alone in the classroom, they have a home base where they are loved unconditionally. When they know that, they don't have to be perfect, they just have to be themselves. But what happens when the bullying isn't at school? What happens when it follows them home on their phone or tablet? The digital world adds a whole new layer of complexity, and that is what we need to look at next. We have talked about the playground and the classroom, but we have to face the reality of the digital hallway. For many children today, the bullying doesn't stop when the final school bell rings. It follows them home, tucked right into their pocket. It shows up in group chats, in comments on their photos, or in the silent exclusion from online games. When bullying happens on a phone or tablet, it feels different. It can feel much more personal because it's happening in the one place your child considers their most private sanctuary, their room. And unlike a face-to-face interaction, a text or an online post can be read over and over again. Your child might stare at a mean message for hours, letting the words sink in deeper and deeper. The first thing to remember here is that your child's phone or computer is not a private place in the same way your own private journal is. It is a social space, and just like you would monitor who they hang out with at the park, you have a responsibility to monitor how they are interacting online. This isn't about being a spy or not trusting them. It's about providing the same level of safety you provide in the physical world. Many parents ask me, at what age should I let them have social media? Or how much should I check? There isn't one perfect answer, but the best rule of thumb is this: accessibility equals accountability. If they are old enough to have an account, they are old enough for you to sit down with them regularly to review what's happening in their digital world. If your child is being bullied online, the instinct is often to snatch the phone away. You might feel like, that's it, no more phone. But if you take the phone away as a punishment for them being bullied, you are actually teaching them a dangerous lesson. If something bad happens online, don't tell mom or dad because they will take my phone away. Instead, work with them on the stop, block, and save method. Stop, don't reply, don't engage. The person bullying wants a reaction, and online, that reaction is the reply. If your child types back a mean response, they are just fueling the fire. Block. Show them exactly how to use the block and report features on every app they use. Teach them that they have the power to curate their own experience. If someone is mean, they do not have a right to be in your child's digital space. Save. This is crucial. Before they block or delete, take a screenshot. If the bullying continues or escalates, you need that evidence. You don't have to look at it every day, but having it is a way of keeping the truth of what happened. I want you to have a conversation with your child about the digital heart. Tell them, words on a screen have the same weight as words said to your face. If you wouldn't say it to someone's face, don't type it. But also, help them understand that other kids' behavior online is often a mask. People are much braver and much meaner when they don't have to look someone in the eye. Help your child see that the person behind those mean messages is likely hiding behind a screen because they don't have the courage to be kind. Also, keep an eye on your child's mood after they spend time on their devices. If they seem irritable, jumpy, or sad every time they put their phone down, that is a huge clue. They might be struggling with something they aren't ready to talk about yet. Use that as an opening. Say, I notice you seem a bit down after being on your phone. Is everything okay in your group chats? Creating an open door policy for their digital life is the best way to keep them safe. Tell them, if you see something that makes you feel bad, confused, or scared, bring the phone to me. I promise I won't be mad at you. I just want to help you handle it. When you handle digital bullying with a calm, investigative, and supportive approach, you show your child that they have a teammate. You aren't just the parent who pays the phone bill. You are the parent who helps them navigate the complicated world they live in. But what about the times when it feels like the school, the teachers, and the other parents just aren't getting it? What do you do when you feel like you're hitting a brick wall? That is where we turn next, finding the path to real, lasting solutions. There will be moments, perhaps you are already in one, where you feel like you are shouting into a void. You have talked to your child, you have tried to build their confidence, and you have reached out to the school only to be met with phrases like, "We're looking into it," or worse, "It's just kids being kids." When you feel like you're hitting a brick wall, it is easy to become either aggressive or hopeless. But neither of those paths will get you what your child actually needs. Aggression makes you the difficult parent, and hopelessness leaves your child alone to face the problem. To break through that wall, you have to shift your strategy from complaining to collaborating. Schools are busy, complex places. When you approach a principal or a teacher, think of yourself as a detective and a partner, not a judge. Instead of saying, "You aren't doing anything about this bully," try saying, "My child is struggling to feel safe at school, and I want to work with you to find a solution. Here is what we have noticed, and here is how it is affecting their learning. What is the school's plan for ensuring they are safe during recess and lunch?" Notice the difference. You aren't attacking them. You are inviting them to join you in solving a problem that is hindering your child's right to an education. Now let's talk about the "just kids being kids" excuse. This is a painful thing to hear. It feels dismissive, like your child's pain doesn't matter. When you hear this, stay calm but be firm. You can say, "I understand that peer conflict is a part of school, but what my child is experiencing is ongoing, targeted, and is making them afraid to come to school. That isn't just kids being kids. That is a barrier to their well-being. Can we sit down and look at the school's bullying policy together?" When you bring the conversation to the policy, you move the discussion from an opinion to a requirement. Most schools have clear rules about respect and safety. Reminding them of those rules in a polite, professional way can be a game changer. If the school is truly not responding, you have to keep moving up the ladder. Document everything. Keep a notebook. Write down the dates, the times, who you spoke to, and what was promised. If things aren't changing, you can go back and say, "We spoke on Tuesday, and you mentioned you would monitor the lunchroom, but my child says it happened again today. How can we make sure this plan is actually working?" This isn't about being mean. It is about being consistent. You are modeling for your child how to advocate for themselves. One day, they will be in a workplace or a relationship where they need to stand up for their rights. By watching you handle this with calm, steady, and documented persistence, you are giving them a masterclass in self-advocacy. But we also need to talk about what to do when your child is the one doing the hurting. It is a terrifying thought for any parent, but it happens. What if you realize your child is joining in or being the one who starts the mean behavior? Many parents freeze here. They feel shame and they try to hide it. If you find out your child is being a bully, do not lash out. Do not scream. Remember, behavior is communication. If your child is acting like a bully, they are likely feeling a massive lack of control or connection in their own life. They are trying to level up by pushing others down. Instead of saying, "How could you be so cruel?" try, "I heard that you were being mean to name." That is not the person I know you to be. I am disappointed in this choice, but I want to understand what is going on with you. Why are you feeling like you need to treat others this way? When you treat your own child's mean behavior with the same curiosity and firmness as you would treat the victim's pain, you can actually turn the situation around. You help them see that they don't need to be mean to be powerful. This is the hardest part of parenting, realizing that our children are complex, imperfect human beings just like us. Whether they are the target or the one who is mean, they need us to stay calm, stay curious, and stay involved. We are going to move into the final part of our journey, where we will look at how to help your child find their tribe, those friends who see them for who they are and help them feel like they truly belong. We have talked a lot about the heavy lifting, the tough conversations, the digital safety, and the school meetings. But we cannot end our journey without talking about the most important antidote to bullying: belonging. A child who feels truly connected to a group of friends, even if it's just one or two kids, is much harder to bully. Why? Because they have an internal sense of worth that the bully cannot easily break. They know that even if one person is being mean, they have someone who gets them and someone who has their back. So, how do we help our children find their tribe when they are feeling lonely or targeted? First, look for interests outside the immediate school bubble. Sometimes, the social pressure cooker of the classroom is just too intense. If your child loves drawing, look for a local art class. If they are into coding, music, or a specific sport, find a community group where the focus is on a shared goal, not on being popular. When children work on a project together, building a robot, practicing a song, or winning a game, the social hierarchy of the school playground often fades away. They are no longer the kid who gets bullied. They are the kid who knows how to fix the code, or the kid who plays the best defense. That shift in identity is incredibly powerful. As a parent, you can facilitate this by being the connector. If your child is shy, you don't have to force them to be the loudest person in the room. Instead, you can invite one or two kids over for a low-pressure hangout. Maybe it's a movie night, a gaming session, or just a backyard pizza party. Keep it small. When you bring one or two kids into your home, you create a space where your child feels comfortable and confident. You are providing the platform for them to build a friendship on their own terms. And remind your child that a tribe isn't about being popular. It is not about having 50 people who think you are cool. It is about finding the one or two people who make you feel like you can be your true self. Teach them to look for the helpers and the kind ones in their class. Sometimes, children get so focused on trying to get the popular kids to like them that they ignore the quiet, kind kids who are standing right next to them. Say to your child, look for the kids who include others. Look for the ones who seem kind to everyone, not just the people who are cool. Those are the friends who will last. Also, model what a healthy friendship looks like. When your child sees you being kind to your friends, talking through disagreements with your spouse or partner, or being patient with others, they are learning the language of friendship. They see that it is okay to have different opinions, that it is okay to be yourself, and that true friends don't demand you change to fit in. Finally, keep the hope door open. When a child is being bullied, they often feel like the current situation will last forever. They think, this is who I am now. This is all I will ever have. Your job is to be the one who remembers the future. Tell them, I know today feels really hard, but this is just one season. You are growing, you are changing, and there are so many people in this world who are going to love you for exactly who you are. As we close this guide, I want you to remember that your child's value is not something that can be stolen, deleted, or belittled by a bully. Their worth is inherent. It is yours, it is theirs, and it is unshakable. You have learned how to hold space for their pain, how to build their emotional armor, how to navigate the digital world, how to partner with the school, and how to help them find their people. You are equipped, you are steady, and most importantly, you are there. Parenting through bullying is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be good days, and there will be tough ones. But every time you listen without judging, every time you help them breathe through the anger, and every time you remind them of their worth, you are building a legacy of resilience that they will carry for the rest of their lives. Take a moment to hug your child today, not because there is a problem to solve, but just because they are yours. You are both doing better than you know. Now that we've navigated the immediate challenges of bullying, we need to talk about the long game. Resilience isn't just about surviving a tough moment. It's about learning how to keep walking forward even after we've been knocked down. When your child experiences bullying, it leaves a mark. It's natural for them to worry that it might happen again or to become a little more cautious in how they approach new people. This is a normal part of the healing process. As their parent, you are the one who helps them turn these scars into strengths. One of the best things you can do for your child's long-term health is to help them find a sense of purpose outside of their social life. When their whole world revolves around whether or not they are liked at school, any rejection feels like a disaster. But when they have other pillars of self-worth, like being a dedicated athlete, a talented artist, a great big sibling, or someone who cares for animals, they have other places to go for a win. If they have a bad day at school, they can come home and practice their instrument, or spend time in the garden, or work on a project. Remind them, you are so much more than what happens in that classroom. You have so many different parts of you that make you who you are. Also, we need to keep the conversation about kindness nuanced. Sometimes we teach children that kindness means being a doormat, that they have to let everyone walk all over them to be nice. That is a dangerous lesson. Teach them that true kindness includes being kind to yourself. You can say, being kind means you don't let people treat you in a way that makes you feel small. It's kind to yourself to walk away from someone who is being mean. It's kind to yourself to ask for help. This empowers your child to realize that setting boundaries isn't mean, it's essential. As your child grows, their social world will change. The bullies of middle school are rarely the same people who hold power in high school or the workplace. Remind them that people change, and they themselves are changing too. They are becoming stronger, wiser, and more capable every single day. There will be times when they doubt themselves, especially if they see others being successful or popular while they are still healing. In those moments, be the mirror. Reflect back to them the person you see, the person who is brave enough to keep trying, the person who is honest, the person who has a good heart. And don't forget to give yourself some credit. You've been the anchor in their storm. You've listened to things that were hard to hear. You've kept your cool when you probably wanted to scream, and you've shown up for them every single day. That kind of parenting creates a secure attachment, a bond that will last a lifetime. That bond is the best protection they will ever have against the challenges of the adult world. Remember, the goal isn't to create a life where your child never experiences a mean person. That's impossible. The goal is to create a child who knows that no matter what happens, they have a home, they have a voice, and they have the strength to handle whatever comes their way. As we reach the final stretch of this guide, I want to talk about something that often gets overlooked in the heat of a struggle: the concept of letting go. This is perhaps the hardest part for any parent. We want justice. We want the people who hurt our children to understand exactly what they did and to say they are sorry. But here is a difficult truth. The people who bully often do not apologize, and they often do not understand the weight of their actions. If you wait for the bully to validate your child's pain, you will be waiting forever, and that delay keeps your child stuck in the role of the victim. True moving on isn't about forgetting what happened. It isn't about saying that what they did was okay. It's about taking the power back. It is deciding that the bully no longer gets to live rent-free in your child's mind. Talk to your child about the difference between forgiving and trusting. You can forgive someone for being mean, which really just means deciding you are no longer going to carry the anger around, without ever having to trust them with your friendship again. Help your child see that carrying around a backpack full of anger toward the bully is actually just carrying more weight. It keeps the bully present in their life, even when they aren't around. When your child learns to say, "That was mean, they were wrong, but I'm not going to let it ruin my day," they are performing an act of incredible strength. You can model this in your own life, too. When you have a tough day at work or a conflict with a neighbor, talk about how you're choosing to let it go. Show them that even adults get frustrated and that we all have to make a choice about how much energy we give to the people who try to bring us down. Also, watch for the victim story. Sometimes, kids who have been bullied for a long time start to see themselves only as a target. They might expect people to be mean, or they might struggle to trust new friends because they are waiting for the other shoe to drop. This is a survival instinct, but it can stop them from experiencing the good things right in front of them. Gently challenge that story. When they say, "Nobody wants to be my friend," you can say, "That's how it feels sometimes, but let's look at the facts. You have friend's name, who loves playing video games with you, and you have cousin's name, who always enjoys your jokes. You have people who value you. Let's focus on the people who do want to be around you." Finally, I want to leave you with this. Your child's story is still being written. The bullying, the hurt, and the hard days are just chapters. They are not the whole book. Because you have decided to be present, to listen, and to guide them, your child is learning that they are not alone. You have given them the greatest gift a parent can give, a safe place to land and a steady hand to hold. They might not be able to articulate it today, but they are learning that their worth is unshakable. They are learning that they have a voice, and they are learning that they are loved exactly as they are. Take a moment to look at your child tonight. See their strength, see their potential, see the person they are becoming. You are doing a wonderful job. Keep showing up, keep listening, and keep believing in them. This journey of parenting is long, but it is also full of beauty. Thank you for letting me walk this part of the path with you.